Hello, BookTube. I have a very good Spidey-Sense about this morning's UPS shipment. It wasn't big, but it feels really good, and I've held off until I could film opening it together with you. So let's get started. There's not many packages, but I have a very good feeling. Let's see if I'm right. Keep in mind about my very good feelings that I predicted without a shadow of a doubt that Tobey Maguire would win the Oscar for Seabiscuit. So I'm not infallible. The quintessential Steve book. To start things off, this is Hume, an intellectual biography. Oh my. Oh, very nice. This is the first intellectual biography of British philosopher and historian David Hume, one of Britain's greatest men of letters. Providing a comprehensive overview of Hume's entire career, James Harris sets all of Hume's works in biographical and historical context and brings to light the major influences on his intellectual development. That might not sound like it to the rest of you, but that's pretty much a love poem in Steve's lexicon. Oh my. Oh, very good. Okay, well, excellent. I will certainly be reviewing this. And you know, it's neat in a way to think about the legacy of books like Hume and intellectual biography. This is exactly the sort of thing that Anthony Burgess would have snapped up. This is exactly the sort of thing that Edmund Wilson would have written about. This is exactly the sort of thing that whoever got it first would mail it to Christopher Hitchens in a minute, and he'd write about it. It's a fruitful subject, especially if, like me, you're a fan of Hume's histories, which are, now largely forgotten, but I love them. All right, so couldn't do with a better start than that. Let's move on from there. To this big thing. What is this? Oh, it's two books. Oh my, oh. All right, this is called The White Mirror by Elsa Hart, who wrote a book called Jade Dragon Mountain that I think I remember liking a lot. This is pretty. In Hart's second mesmerizing novel, 18th century Chinese librarian Li Du, traveling with a trade caravan through the Tibetan mountains, discovers a dead monk marked with a pagan symbol on his chest. Surrounded by secrets and an unexplained grief, Li Du starts piecing together the dark circumstances of the monk's death. Okay, all right. And then something called Nevernight, Book 1 by J. Christoph. Lovely cover. Looks like fantasy. This is from Thomas Dunn's, due in August. It's a new series. In a world where the suns almost never set, a woman gains entry to a school of infamous assassins seeking vengeance against the powers that destroyed her family. Daughter of an executed traitor, Mia Coveri is barely able to escape her father's failed rebellion with her life. Alone and friendless, she wanders a city built from the bones of a dead god, hunted by the Senate and its thugs. But her gift for speaking with the shadows leads her to the hearth of a retired killer and a future she never imagined. Okay. All right, I will read that. Now we have a box. So far, no dust. What is this? Oh, God. Look at the size of this thing. Hitler's soldiers, the German army in the Third Reich. Are we sure that Tobey Maguire didn't win the Oscar for Seabiscuit? That's certainly how I feel right now. Oh my. This is just a soup to nuts history of the Wehrmacht. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Oh my. What have we here? The Well-Tempered City by Jonathan Rose. What modern science, ancient civilizations, and human nature teach us about the future of urban life. In the vein of Jane Jacobs. Interesting. We've seen her on this channel before, a new biography of her. Jonathan Rose, the man who repairs the fabric of cities, has successfully helped to plan or redevelop urban communities around the globe, including New York, Newark, Santa Fe, Denver, and Sao Paulo. Cities are the physical representations of our social behaviors, our economic divides, racial tensions, environmental priorities, and even physical health. Yet today, with so much crumbling infrastructure, climate change, resource depletion, and sprawl, The way we live is out of sync with nature and with ourselves. Ooh, that's good. This is going to get reviewed everywhere. Why, you may ask? Because aside from a handful of weird eccentrics in England, every single book reviewer lives in a city. And this is due in September. Okay. 2 more to go. But I think, at this point, my Spidey-Sense is already incredibly validated. Let's see. Okay. All right. This is the finished copy of Bill Bruhn's Night of the Animals. I showed you the ARC of this. It was brilliant. I'm very happy to have a finished copy. And this is due out in early July. It is great adult science fiction fantasy novel. And I wanted the finished copy. So that's perfect. And then our last thing for this batch. Oh, it's 2. It's 2 things. What is this? More Norton Critical Editions. This is Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz, selected works translated by the great Edith Grossman, an author I've never heard of, and the Norton Critical Edition of Pride and Prejudice. Okay, with a nice note from the Norton people. All right, well, there we have it. That's the UPS shipment from this morning, and oh boy, was I right about it being good. I'm gonna go collect myself. Thank you, BookTube.